Good morning, everyone. My name is Julie. I'm the owner and the founder of Lady Fall Tie. You are watching this video either on my YouTube channel or on my Facebook group, which is Lady Fall Tie's Light Healing. Today we're going to talk about 5 steps to help work with shadow. So we're going to do our sage and light our candle and everything, but we're basically I want to remind everybody today that we're not really through shadow season. Most people kind of feel like once we have Halloween, Samhain, that it's like click, now we're into Thanksgiving and Christmas. And as much as the commercial retail stores want us to go that way, I just wanted to remind you that shadow season does really continue into November. So we're going to talk about that a little bit. Towards the middle of November, getting towards the end of November, we'll start talking about Thanksgiving and gratitude and things of that sort. But I just really wanted to remind everybody that shadow season does not just end on October 31st. I, have described it very badly as the shower curtain analogy of the thinning of the veil. Like most of the year we have a shower curtain that we can't see through at all, and then around September we get that shower curtain that you can kind of see through but not quite, and then right around October we get that shower curtain that you can see through it but you can't go through it. You can see through it but you can't go through it. Kind of analogy. It's not a good analogy, but it's all I had at the time, and I haven't really put much thought into another one. But now it's going the other way. So it's not like, okay, now Samhain's done, Halloween's done, and the veil is closed. That veil gradually thinned, and now it's going to gradually go back, and it's going to do that through November. So just a lot of people, think, well, Halloween's done, shadow season's done, and it's not really done. So, but before I get too much further into that, let's go ahead and light our candle here. Using my matches. Lighting our candle for trust. We're going to light our little sage bundle here and get some of that going for us. Maybe. All right, going a little bit there. I'm going to take some of that in because coming down with the start of the sniffles and got that little bit of a prickly right here in the throat, so I don't want any more of it, so I'm going to try to clear that out. Sage is really good at, let's say, taking the place of Lysol. It's very antibacterial. So this time of year, cold and flu season, it's really great to smudge your house. I usually say like twice a week, but I would even go, especially if you've got kids that are going to school. I work in a small office, but, there's sicknesses going around there as well. So smudging is always a good idea during cold and flu season to kind of get that antibacterial benefit from it as well as the energy aspect of it. So, and there's our Palo Santo stick that we've got lit. So if I'm coughing and sniffling, I apologize. Drinking a little Earl Grey this morning with some local honey that my cousin has bees, and she gets that honey for me. So thank you to her for that. All right, so yeah, so basically, like I was saying, you know, shadow season, a lot of people kind of forget that it goes into November. And I think it's because, you know, September, we start to see the leaves change. We start to feel the air change. And then in October, you really have that, like, the leaves have fallen off. And my Paleo Santos is really going this morning. And the leaves have fallen off the trees, and you see the leaves on the ground. And it's very much feels shadow season, even though some people may not realize that that's what they're feeling. But that's kind of that. And so then when we get into November, it's still cold. We're starting to see snow. And of course, like I said, the retail stores, like the day after Halloween, throw up like 1,000,000 Christmas decorations. So it's kind of hard sometimes to remember that we're still in shadow season in November. So, sorry. There's that tickle. I got cough drops. I did do the traditional tea and cough drops and some Tylenol, but I do still do my Paleo Santos and my sage as well. So, and if I feel called to it, I might even do a little frankincense. Actually, you know what? Let's do that right now. Sorry, sidetracked. So, some of you have seen me do this before. My charcoal. So, these little charcoal things, you may have seen them around. If you've been in a metaphysical shop, you've probably seen them. But you can buy them right on Amazon. And you can get like a big box of them for like 10 bucks. I bought a box for $10 that had 10 of these packages in it, and in one of these is probably 8 or 10 charcoals. So they're not super expensive. And I'm gonna light it right off my candle here, and you can probably hear it, and it's gonna kind of spark and pop, and that's how you know it's lit. Try not to burn myself or light my fingernails on fire, but I want to show you that's how you know it's lit. And I'm going to put it in this little tray here, and forgive me because it might take me a second to find. I have all of my herbs are in little jars, so these are ones for joy and creativity. I have to take them all down. This one is desire. I'll put them all back after. This one is strategy. No, it's not in those two. Yep, I'm making a mess. All right, I'm gonna go through every single one of them. Frankincense. Second to last one. All right, so frankincense, I have it in a powder form. Oh, the dog is up. And you can inhale it if you want. It will clear your sinuses right out. I will tell you, I tried it once, and it's not necessarily overly pleasant, so you wouldn't want to do it if you didn't have to. But you can, yeah, it's not cocaine, it's frankincense resin powder. And I'm going to just drop that right on my charcoal disc there. And I wish I could move it so I could show it to you guys, but it is smoking, and it is going to help clear my sinuses out a little bit. So, anyway, back to shadow. It's that whole squirrel thing. I get sidetracked. Why doesn't this one have, oh, because this is the new one. Try to put the label side out so I can, if I need them quickly, but yeah, they're not in a good way that I can find them quickly, as you just saw. Sorry, you're sitting here just watching me and you can't even see what I'm doing. All right, back to shadow season and reminding us that it does go through to November. So after all that, let's actually talk about what we're supposed to talk about today. So there's a couple of little steps. I did not come up with these steps. I got them from a blog. Most all of my information comes from the internet, from a blog, mostly from Athena's blogs. I'll show you. So I'm not trying to steal anybody's material. This is not mine. I take notes and then put them in my own words. This was the one I took it from. So 5 ways to dance with dark and transform your joy, your life. And then it's all of this. Okay. So there's a lot there, right? There's like 6 whole pages of stuff there. What I do is I read through it and then I do my notes, which is very simple notes, just to remind me of what I want to talk about and make sure that I hit all the points. And if there's anything for facts, I write those down because I want to make sure I get those correct. So just if you're curious, I do get my information from mostly blogs, but I do try to put them all in my own words. I don't want to be stealing somebody else's writing. I took her information, which I think her information is very good and accurate, and then I put it in my own words, or try to the best I can. But if you're ever interested in something that I have done a video on and you want more information, you can certainly let me know and I can post the blog. Maybe that's what I'll start doing anyway. Maybe after the video I'll post a link for the blogs. I don't know, you guys give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down on that idea, so that you can go read the blog yourself. I mean, I have no issue with that. You know, as long as you're learning, if it's not from me and it's going to come from somewhere else, that's fine. I just, you know, I'm here to share the information for you guys to learn. So if you're watching this later or whatever, you can give me some feedback of yes, post the link to the blog, or no, don't worry posting the link to the blog. I don't know, anything like that. But why don't we actually talk about what we're going to talk about, because it's going to be one of those squirrel days, I guess. So like I said, the 5 things that I've written down are the 5 things that are in the blog, but I've just tried to take them and put them in my own words. So number 1 is accept what we do. We all say things like, I want to exercise. I want to go to the gym. I want to eat healthier. I'm just using those because those are usually things that I say. You know, it could be all different kinds of things. I want to take college classes. I want to take an art class. I want to start my own business. I want. We say all these things we want. And some of those things are things we truly do want, and we need to, I want to start my own business, but I can't just quit my job and start my own business. I have to have kind of a plan of action of what that's going to look like and how long that's going to take and what's going to happen in there. And I am trying to take steps into doing that, but it's not like I want my own business, so I'm going to go in and quit my job and be done. I have muggle things, bills to pay, and stuff, so it's not just going to happen like that. But a lot of the smaller things that we do, like I said, you know, I want to eat healthier. I want to go to the gym. I want to lose weight. except that, maybe that's really not what we want. We want to be skinny. We want to be beautiful. But I don't really want to eat healthier. I don't. And I don't want to go to the gym, and I don't want to exercise. I want to be skinny, but I don't really want to do all those things. I'm perfectly happy eating my ice cream brownie sundaes, which I had last night for dessert. That's what I want. I want ice cream. I want cookies. I want cake. I want brownies. I want pasta. That is really what I want. I want to be skinny, but I don't really want the things that I need to do to be skinny. I don't want to exercise. I don't want to eat healthy. I don't want to do any of those things, really. And that's just an example of, accepting what you really want in life, and coming to terms with that and being okay with that. I know that. I mean, we say those things when we're talking with people. We're like, oh yeah, I really would like to start eating healthier. But the truth of it is I'm pretty okay with eating brownies and cookies. And I do like healthy things too. But I don't want to cut those things out of my diet. I don't want to cut those things out of my life. And I'm using food as an example for myself, because I have really bad willpower when it comes to food and dieting. And that's just going to show, because that's not really what I want. Dieting is not really what I want. I want to be skinny, but I don't want to diet. And I understand how those things work, and that you kind of have to have one to have the other. But if you really kind of sit and think about things, all these things we say we want, but we never do them, or we start them and we, like the whole New Year's resolutions, I'll do some, amazing thing over the next year. And after about 3 to 4 weeks, they kind of all fall off. And we'll talk about those. I did a video last year about it too, but we'll probably talk about it again this year. But we tend to set things that we think we're supposed to want, or we think our spouse wants, or our friends want, or whatever. And they're not really things that we want. And I just want you to sit with that and think about that. Not necessarily right now, but at some time, kind of sit down and think about what it is that you say you want, but that you never really do. And think about is it really something that you really do want? Because if it really is something you want, then this is off topic, but take steps to make that happen. Like, I really do want my own business. I'm not just saying that. I really do want my own business. But it's going to take, I know it's going to take a lot of steps. It's going to take money, which I don't have right now. And so it's going to be kind of a 5-10 year process probably before that really happens for me. So I realize it's not going to happen right now, but I realize there's a lot of steps that I need to take to make that happen. And I am working towards that. But like I said, as far as I'll say oh, I really do want to start eating healthier. And I'll go to the store and buy raspberries. I love raspberries. There's a lot of fruit that I do love. But then after I'm done the raspberries, I'll eat a candy bar. Because that's really what I want. And so I have to decide whether or not if I really do want to be skinny and thin, that I've got to either do something I don't really want to do, or I've got to accept who I am the way I am. And that's pretty much where I'm at. If I can lose some weight, great. But if I don't, this is me. This is who I am. So, just kind of sit with that and think about, when you say you want something, is that really, really what you want? And figure out, be honest with yourself, I mean, you don't have to tell anybody if you don't want to. I'm telling you, I want to eat brownies and cookies and ice cream. That's not a big secret. Most people who know me know that. I have a sugar addiction. Um, and with that, do I want to be skinny and pretty? Sure. It's great to feel comfortable in your clothes. It's great to have that. But you know what? I don't think if I stay like I am, I don't think my husband's going to stop loving me. I don't think anything bad's going to happen to me. I'm not to the point where like I don't have health issues because of my weight and things of that sort. So it's not like I need to lose weight to become healthy. I don't have a lot of health problems. And my life isn't going to change if I don't get skinny. So, you know, it's just one of those things like the world has told us that we need to be skinny and we're supposed to be skinny and whatnot. But I want to be a weight that I'm comfortable with. I don't want to walk up a flight of stairs and feel like I'm going to die. Really off track here. But yeah, sorry. Squirrel is going to be the theme for today. Think about what it is you want. And when you say these things, I want to lose weight. I want to go to the gym. I want to, I don't know, go out more, be more social. Is that really what you want? Or are you just saying that because that's what you think we're supposed to say? And sit with it and realize what it is you really want. And then be okay with that. If you are somebody, just because I said the social one, if you're somebody that just doesn't go out a lot, I don't go out a lot. And so if you've got friends that are like, oh, you should come out with us, you should come out with us. And you're like, yeah, definitely, I want to. And are you just saying that because that's what you think that you need to say, that they want to hear you say? Do you really want to go out? You know, if you're like, sorry, I just really am not into the whole clubbing scene or the bar scene or whatever. If you want to get together, let's, do something else. Let's go to dinner. Or maybe you just don't want to go out at all and you could just be like, well, you can come over to my house. We'll hang out and watch a movie. Apparently that made the dog happy. I think she's dreaming. All right. Took way too long, and that was only number 1. So, because, yeah, my phone is telling me it's time to start wrapping it up, and we're only on number 1. So number 2 is acknowledge your dislikes about yourself. So, yeah, and we'll go right back into my weight, just because that's kind of where we'll just make it flow through here, I guess. I dislike that I'm overweight. But again, I know I don't want to give up the foods that I enjoy. So acknowledge the dislikes about yourself. I dislike that I can't see worth crap. I dislike that I have gray hair. I dislike this right here. These things. But they're part of who I am, and I got to accept them. And those dislikes can even go more into, your personality type. I dislike that I tend to be really judgy. And I'm working on that. And it's weird, because I'm like, you can be any religion you want. You can be identify with any sex you want. You can have any type of sexual partner you want. Like that, none of that bothers me. I really don't care. I mean, that's your life. Go live it. But then I'll be judgy about like really superficial things about like, did you see what she was wearing? I'm like, kind of thing. And I know it's bad. And when I feel that coming up, or when it plays in my brain, I stop myself and correct myself, just like I would a child. I'm like, that was really not nice to say. But acknowledge the dislikes about yourself, and kind of sit with those as well, and think about different things you could do with that, and maybe learn to just accept and even maybe come to peace with the things that you dislike about yourself. But like for me, being judgy like that, I don't want to accept that. I don't want to come at peace with that. That is something I want to work on correcting. And that goes, again, sidetrack off topic here, but that goes back to my Chiron wound and not feeling good enough. And by that whole terrible thing that we tear others down to make ourselves feel better. So again, if I'm not comfortable with my weight, I might be judgy about somebody else being overweight. And really, that's just a reflection back on myself, not on that person. It's a reflection back on myself, and I have to sit with that and work on that and think about what's really going on there when that judginess comes up. And again, I'm going through these kind of quickly, so I think what I will do is I will post the link for the blog under this so that you can read it in a little bit more of a coherent way, because apparently I'm rambling today and getting off track here a little bit, and sorry for that. Number 3 is it's okay if we have a bad day. We're human. We're in a human body. We're in a muggle world. Things are going to happen to us. There's things that we can't control. We're going to fall down. We're going to get flat tires. We're going to have a boss who gives us shit. There's just not much we can do about that. But what we can do is, again, is sit with that and think about what you can do and you can't do. If you get a flat tire, there's not much, you can't unflatten the tire. You can't go back and tell the tire to not be flat. Like, we can't do that. I don't have a magic wand like Harry Potter does that can just repair the tire. But what we can do is we can either calmly call somebody for help, calmly get out our spare tire and jack and fix it if you know how. I could probably do it if I really had to, but I don't want to, so I'd probably call somebody. Or we can get out of the car, we can kick and swear and cause a big stink, but really that didn't solve anything. So we can try to just work with how we're going to respond. And I'm really good at 90% of that. The one I have a hard time with is my boss giving me shit. I tend to not deal with that so well, and I tend to react instead of respond, and my reaction is usually not very nice. Again, Chiron wound. Still working on it. So number 4. I'm having a hard time reading my own writing. I have an eye appointment coming up. I can't wait because I have to take my glasses off to read it. But then if I take my glasses off, I can't see the screen. So number 4 is find your Scorpio. And I've said this a million times, and I'll say it again. If you haven't got your natal chart, go to www.astro.com and get your natal chart. You need your time of birth, your date, and your place. Now, I know a lot of people are struggling with the time of birth. If you don't know exactly down to the minute what it is, you can call your mom and be like, listen, was I born early in the morning? Was I born late at night? Was I born in the afternoon? And you can kind of plug in a time that would be close. The closer, the better. But if you don't have the exact time, you can plug in a time that is close. Now, if you're adopted, that's going to be a little bit more challenging as well. But you should still have a birth record somewhere. So go get it, because I can guarantee you have Scorpio somewhere in your chart. I mentioned this in the last video, and I just wrote it down because I wanted to make sure I said it correctly to you. I have Scorpio in my Mercury, Venus, and Mars. And I started to explain what those were to you, but then I couldn't remember, so I stopped because I didn't want to give you bad information or incorrect information. So Mercury is how you communicate. So if Scorpio is in your Mercury, that's gonna tell you how you communicate. And yeah, I either am nothing or I sting. Yeah. So Venus is how you love and how you receive, and Mars is how you fight and how you give. So, and all of mine are in Scorpio. So yeah, that's interesting. Anywho, that's a whole nother conversation. But find your chart, find where Scorpio is in your chart, and kind of dig down into that and see what that means for you. A lot of people who have got their natal chart, they look at it and there's just a ton of information on there, and they get really overwhelmed and just put it down and don't go back to it. And I try to tell people who've got their natal chart is break it down. I usually suggest that they figure out their birth, rising, and moon signs first. Work with those. Once you have those done, you can go on to your Mercury, Venus, and your Mars and learn about those. And then after that, you know, if you've got that far, reach out to me and I can help you, you know, delve into your chart a little bit more. But those are like the big ones for most people. But find where your Scorpio is and really like take some time and work with that. Find out where it is in your chart. Find out what it lines up with. Like I said, mine lines up with Mercury, Venus, and Mars. Find out what house it's in. Find out what that house means and really dig down and see if that has some meaning for you. And work with that. So, yeah, it's really interesting. I know people say astrology is just a lot of like, you know, because people are used to reading their horoscope in the newspaper, and it's kind of like very vague and really could fall under anything like, oh, you're going to have an amazing day today, which could just mean that, you know, you're going to get a brownie sundae, or it could mean that you got a promotion, or it could mean that you win the megabucks. So those are pretty general, but really when you start digging into your natal chart and astrology and your houses and all of that, the pieces really do fit in and make a lot of sense. At least they have for me. And they've brought a lot of things to light for me. And they've brought a lot of understanding of why I do the things the way I do and how I can maybe work on changing those things. It's made a big difference in my relationship because I understand Eric's placements and where things are for him and why he does some of the things that he does. And it's just made a big difference in the last year in my life. And I can't say enough, go get your natal chart. And number 5 is kind of a fun one, I think. It's still shadow work. It's still shadow season, but it's kind of fun. Find your dark goddess or your dark god, whatever you identify with, female or male. Your inner one. Like you can go look up Morgan or Hecate or any of those. But I'm talking more about your inner goddess. So it's kind of fun. Go on the internet and Google images and find something that you can relate to. Find something that kind of speaks to you. Or if you want to draw it, paint it, whatever, and just kind of find your, like, I don't want to say alter ego, because that's not quite right, but your shadow self, and kind of have a little bit of fun with it and find something that resonates with you. You know, it could be something very dark, but just because it's a shadow side doesn't mean it has to be dark. It could, you know, be all gray or all white or whatever you want it to be. But then just kind of make peace with her or him. You know, be like, okay, this is the shadow side of me. This is all the ego and the pride and whatever it is that your shadow is, and make peace with it, and him or her, and kind of, again, sit with it and see what that really means for you, and work through that. I know I'm kind of wrapping this up a little quickly here, but it's because I took way too long on number one because I got sidetracked. But yeah, just have fun with it. I've gone online. I've Googled shadow images, and I came up with this really neat one of this. It's not pornographic or anything, but it's a woman. She's naked, and she's all curled up on her side on the floor, and she's in a very dark room, but there's like one ray of light kind of shining down on her, and I thought that was really meaningful. It, like, for some reason I connected with it. It's like there she was alone in the dark and probably cold, and she's all curled up, but there was that one little ray of light there that was probably keeping her going. So it's kind of neat to find some of the images. Another one that I found was it was all dirty hands crawling out of the dirt. And I suppose that was probably for a scary movie or zombie, or I don't know what it was for, the image. But to me, it was kind of like pulling yourself out of the hole that you're in, kind of a thing for me. So, you know, just kind of find some images that resonate with you, and sit with them and think about them and see what that means for you, see what kind of feelings that brings up for you, and see if that's something that you can't, like I said, accept, the things you dislike, you know, kind of sit with those and see if there's something that you can make peace with there, and put that all in that shadow version of yourself, and make friends with him or her. So, sorry, I'm kind of going fast. Again, I apologize because I took too long on number one. But before I go, I did want to talk about Monday. I'm messed up on days. Monday is 11/11, and that is a very big day for anybody that works with numerology. 11 is a master number, and so on 11/11 we have a double master number. That is basically going to open up a portal for you on that day of manifestation. So 11 is a number of creativity. I wrote it down because I don't want to say it wrong. Creativity, expression, and manifestation. And so what this portal is going to open for you on 11/11 is the inspiration and the creativity and the manifestation, and all of that is going to basically all be in a line for you on that day. So if there's something that you've really been wanting to create, it would be a really good day to sit and work on whatever that is for you. I mean, it's not going to just happen on one day. Like, you can't just be like, this is what I want, and on 11/11 it's going to happen, and I'm going to be all set. No, it takes a little bit more prep work than that. But like I said, for me, one of the big things that I really want to work on is starting my own business, and you know, maybe like right now I'm kind of running it out of my house. People want herbs, or people want essential oils or whatever, crystals, and I can either have it on hand for them, or I can get it for them, or whatever. But I want to expand that into a little bit more of an actual career, and so I'm working on things that I can do to get my wholesale license. I'm working on things to do to get certified as an aromatherapist, things of that sort. So they're all things I'm working on, but maybe on Monday, 11/11, something major is going to happen for me that's going to kind of push that forward for me. I'm not sure what that necessarily will look like, but be aware of it and be watching for it, and be sure to be taking that opportunity if it arises for you on Monday. So with that, I will see you guys all on Tuesday, which is the 12th. I hope everybody has an amazing weekend. I'm hoping to spend the weekend, it probably sounds boring to most people, but I'm hoping to spend the weekend cataloging my crystals, because my crystal collection has gone to a point where it's a little crazy and I've lost track of what I have and what I don't have. So I'm probably going to have to clear off my whole kitchen table and spend the whole weekend putting them together, because like I know I have lots and lots of multiples of the same things here. Yeah, like these are like it's crazy. Because my kits come with stones in my Mesa kits, and a lot of times I get the same ones. Yeah, like I have so many duplicates of everything, and deciding what I need to do, if I want to keep the duplicates or give them away or sell them or what I want to do. But first I have to organize them. So that's my plan for the weekend. So probably sounds a little boring to some people, but I'm hoping to really dig into that and get that done this weekend. So I will see you guys all on Tuesday. Have a great day. Be safe. I heard it's supposed to snow. If you're here in Upper New Hampshire with me, it's supposed to snow. So be safe. Have your shovels ready. And remember, as always, be kind, because your kindness could not only change your day, but somebody else's day and potentially somebody else's life. So thanks, and be amazing. Love you.